So first and foremost, sorry for the crappy lighting. This was the best I could do. And also I'm going to apologize now. In the next room, my family is watching Addams Family. So if you hear any of that in the background, that is what it is. So I am here to review both Crazy Rich Asians, the book, and the movie. So, full disclosure, I saw the movie back in August when it was in theaters. I really enjoyed the movie. I think at the time I gave it a 3 or 3.5. I can't remember off the top of my head. I still think that's a fair rating. I think now I might give it a 4 watching it again. But I do think the movie does a good job of representing what the book is. Now, first and foremost, before we go any further, I will just say there will be spoilers in this review. So, for the people who don't want to be spoiled, I really enjoyed the book. I also really enjoyed the movie. I think the movie does a good job of capturing the heart of the book. I'd give the book a 4 out of 5 stars, and like I said before, I gave this a 3 or 3.5, and I think I could bump it up to a 4 now. For me, it's between 3.5 and 4 for the movie. So, yeah, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I'd click out of the video because I'm going to go into spoiler territory. You've been warned. Here come the spoilers. So first and foremost, as you can see, I have quite a lot of stickies here in my book. And I think this might be the most stickies I've ever had in my books. But a lot of them are just kind of little notes I've made for myself, kind of anything that was kind of tweaked. I made little notes like, oh, this is different. This character does this instead of how they did in the movie and stuff like that. And also quite a few of them are my rage-inducing little notes about Eddie. Eddie is the most annoying character in this book. And anytime I saw that I had to read a chapter from his point of view, I wanted to throw this book. Like, I hate Eddie so much. And oh my god, near the end, when Fiona finally told him off, I was so happy because oh my god, it just drove me crazy. Like, okay, so because your family doesn't go screaming to the world how rich they are, you think they're beneath you and horrible. And I was just like, I'm not going to rant about Eddie. I could rant about Eddie, but I'm not going to rant about Eddie. All you need to know is I hate Eddie with every fiber of my being, and I'm so glad Fiona told him off. Moving on. So one of the differences I quickly noticed from the book and the movie was Astrid. Now, first of all, Astrid in the movie I adore, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that she's played by Gemma Chan, who I adore because I'm a big fan of Humans on AMC. And I love her in that show, so I was so happy when I saw her in this movie because it was something different from what she plays on Humans. But the difference for me is, since in the book you get to explore Astrid and Michael's dynamic a little bit more than you do in the movie, because the movie mainly focuses on Nick and Rachel. In the movie, they kind of decided to make Astrid's character a little stronger than I'd say she is in the book. Now, not saying Astrid's character in the book is weak or in any way it changes my opinion of Astrid, because Astrid still has a lot of the great qualities that movie Astrid has in the book. But one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Astrid kind of tells Michael off. And in the book, we don't get that scene. In the book, Astrid definitely comes across as really, she loves her husband and she just can't understand why he would ever want to hurt her or get the divorce. She doesn't understand. And some scenes I was super sympathetic towards Astrid, and others I found, I hate to say it, but it came across a little pathetic to me, and I hate saying that because I did love Astrid in the book, but I just feel like the movie did a better job of portraying Astrid. I don't know, I kind of wish the Astrid in the book was a little more like Astrid in the movie when it comes to the whole stuff with Michael. But then again, they did change the thing with Michael, because in the movie, it's pretty much, they didn't really confirm if Michael was having an affair. I mean, he didn't disagree with her when she said he was. In the book, it's this whole thing where he makes her believe he's having an affair, that he has a mistress, that he possibly has another son with this mistress, and Astrid is willing to work through it because she loves her husband, and he's just like, no, I want a divorce. And then you find out, no, it was all a big ruse that his sister helped him plot out so that, you know, Astrid would divorce him. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. A lot worse in the book, I feel, than in the movie. So maybe that's why the reactions are a little different. Actually, yeah, that's probably why the reactions are a little different, I guess. But character-wise, that's probably the biggest one that I'm like, between the book and movie, I'm conflicted of how I feel, and that's Astrid. I felt like Nick and Rachel were amazing both in the book and in the movie, both their characters together and apart. The journeys both of them go on. I feel like the story about Rachel's father is told a lot better in the book than it is in the movie. Just hearing that history from her mom about her relationship with her husband, and then the neighbor helping her and her falling in love with the neighbor, I feel like it's done a lot better in the book than in the movie. Eleanor is very different from the movie version. Eleanor in the book, because Eleanor in the movie is very calm, cool, and collected, and she's almost kind of like stoic in a way. Whereas in the book, Eleanor is kind of like all her friends. Like, she's very excitable, and she's over-dramatic, and she's freaking out over every little thing, and she hates Rachel. And sometimes reading it, I just found it hilarious, watching her freak out, especially, like, because Nick's dad is a character in the book. He's not a character in the movie. But the scenes where she would freak out about Rachel and rant to her husband about Rachel, I thought those were funny. But other times I felt like it was a little too much. I was like, okay, calm down, Eleanor. It'll be fine. Jesus Christ. I still really enjoyed her character in the book. It was just kind of threw me after seeing Eleanor portrayed as very calm, cool, collected in the movie, and then just see this version of Eleanor just be, very out there and over-dramatic, and I was like, Jesus Christ, okay. I'd say my only real complaints about the book would be, while I loved how descriptive Kevin Kwan was of the culture, the architecture, the world, basically, of Singapore, because I live in Iowa. There's no way in hell I'm ever going to go to Singapore, so I don't know what the hell anything is. So, while I did love it, there were some times where I felt he was overly descriptive, and I was kind of like, okay, this is dragging on and on, I get it, it's a great big house, or stuff like that. Sometimes I was like, we could tone it down a little. It's that weird in-between where sometimes I'm like, but I need it to be overly descriptive because I don't know what the hell anything in Singapore looks like, or how the rich live in Singapore, so I need this. But other times I'd be like, I'm good, I get it. So yeah, that's one complaint I would have. The other complaint was the ending, because, I get it. There are 2 books after this, the China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems, and I will totally be reading them, but then again, that's one of my problems with series. Like, obviously the author has to leave some stories open so that they can continue to the next book, but I always need closure when I read books, and I didn't feel any, because, like, it leaves it totally open-ended. Like, Eleanor, Nick's not talking to Eleanor, and her friends are trying to help take valuable things from one of their friends' house. I can't remember which one, because the sister is destroying everything. And, like, that's where we leave Eleanor. So I'm like, okay. And then Nick brings Carrie, Rachel's mom, all the way to Singapore to talk to her. And then Nick, Rachel, Carrie, and Peaklin, I can never say her name. Peaklin? I can never pronounce her name correctly. But they all go to this bar, and then, like, Rachel and Nick kind of reconnect, and then it cuts to Peaklin and Carrie talking, and she's like, don't look now, they're kissing. And I was like, wait a minute, why couldn't I get that resolution? Why did we switch perspectives? I wanted to read that, and then it just kind of ended, and I was like, okay, I guess. But like I said, I know it's leaving it open so that it'll make me want to read China Rich Girlfriend, but I'm like, I kind of wanted more. Come on. Overall, I really, really loved the world that Kevin Kwan created here. I loved reading about a culture that I've never experienced before, and I've also loved watching the culture I've never experienced before. I think it's a great... reading this and then watching this is really great because you get to visualize with your imagination what you think these things look like, and then actually seeing what they look like. It's so amazing, and I love it. Yeah, as a book, this really is great. I love Kevin Kwan's writing. His characters are amazing. He did an amazing job of fleshing out this whole family. It's just so well done. I love it. And then with the movie, they did an equally good job of fleshing out the characters with the amount of time they had. Obviously, the movie focuses more on just Nick and Rachel, whereas the book focuses on Nick and Rachel. It also focuses on the whole family. But I understand you can't do that with a movie, especially with a 120-minute movie. You can't really do that. But I appreciate how the creative team tried their damn hardest to capture the heart of the book, and I think they did a brilliant job. And like I said, I'm still torn between 3.5 and 4 for the movie. But as a whole, I think Crazy Rich Asians is a successful book-to-movie adaptation. Yes, there were changes. Yes, things were different. But it's one where I don't get mad watching it. I just am like, yeah, there's a difference. It happens. Because there are some book-to-movie where they just change stuff unnecessarily, and it's like, why? Or it's nothing like the book. And with Crazy Rich Asians, there are changes that were made that were necessary, that are understandable, but it still has the heart of the book, and that's what I love. If you have read Crazy Rich Asians, tell me what you thought. Tell me what rating you would give it. If you've seen Crazy Rich Asians, tell me what you thought. What rating would you give it? And if you, like me, have read and seen both, how do you feel? Do you feel like it was a good adaptation of the book? And yeah, let's just discuss. I would love to discuss. And hopefully I will soon be getting China Rich Girlfriend, because like I said, I need to know what happens next with Nick and Rachel. I need to know. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was probably long. I apologize for it, and I once again apologize for the shitty lighting. I work with what I've got, guys. That's what I do. So, yes. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next time. Bye, guys.